text and drive. Don't record yourself while you're driving. I was such a good example for the children's. I am just dog tired this week. I'm working on a ton of like collaborations and old footage that I have been meaning to get edited, and I'm accomplishing so much every day, but I'm so sleepy because the time change messed up my insomnia, on top of which they promised we weren't going to do it again, so I'm like still pretty angry that it happened again. And I'm helping out with a local play, and it's Tech Week, which means that we're running the entire play every night, scene changes, costumes, and I'm the one moving all of the furniture. So I am exhausted, and I really didn't want to make any new content this week, but I have got to say something about the ASJ thing, just so everyone knows where I stand. For those of you that don't know, Austin St. John has a new merch line coming out. It's the Warriors line, which is shirts with quotes all over them from like famous military leaders and stuff in like the language of their native country with the English translation under it, which could be really cool. Only like it has a quote from the mustache man on it. You know, the mustache man who hates the Hebrew people. And not only is it on there, like if it had just been on there and he hadn't said anything about it, we all would have bought the shirt, and then we would have realized a few weeks later and been like, wait, this quote is on here from Mustache Man, and we would have been pissed then. But he has like chosen to specifically mention that one quote when he's in an interview, and he has to have a PR dude, right? Like I find it really hard to believe that Austin St. John, with all the stuff he's got going on, doesn't have a manager or a rep or something. But it's career suicide. So yeah, in an interview, the quote from Austin St. John, when he brings it up, he says like, oh, you know, Mustache Man was like a steroided up sociopath, but he had some good one-liners. And you're just like, dude. And I have learned from everyone talking about this, that it's actually illegal in England to have text that man spoke on your clothes, which is kind of cool. It's cool information. But, you know, he's saying it's like heroes and villains, and we love a good villain, but we love a good fictional villain because they didn't actually do any of the stuff. And it is important to remember terrible things that happened in our past. We definitely don't want to forget the Mustache Man and all of his horrible works. But those are things that should be talked about in history class, not things that should be put on merchandise and monetized. Like, even if you have good intentions, even if you're trying to say like this was a bad person or something like that, it can still be misconstrued. There can still be people who like what that guy stood for that are going to buy the merchandise because they like what it represents. And at the end of the day, you're just elevating his words. You're promoting his sayings, you're elevating his words, and it's not a good thing to do. It's a bad thing to do. So Austin St. John is committing career suicide, and it is regrettable. I still love Jason as a character. A lot of people have been saying they're switching to Rocky as their favorite Red Ranger, and I do like to see Rocky get his due because I love that boy. But yeah, I do not intend to buy one of the shirts. I do not like that he has put the quote on the shirts. I can't believe that people have backlashed and he's continuing to dig a hole. Even Amy Jo Johnson is like, don't do that. And he's still like doubling down. And I think it's weird that you can't say the name of the Mustache Man on TikTok. I mean, I get it's probably included in a lot of like hate speech sentences, but it's a name, and sometimes I need to say it so that people aren't confused what I'm talking about. I assume you know what I'm talking about. The guy with the little triangle-y mustache who did a lot of really bad stuff in a very popular war that was the second one. Anyway, I am driving a car and I can't look at the camera, even though my brain really wants me to. It wants me to make eye contact with you, even though you're not there. I'm like, I must make eye contact with the people. But I'm gonna go now, and that's my opinion on the whole ASJ thing. And yeah, I hope you guys are getting sleep this week.